Is Prabhu there in the call?
Yes, I am there in the call. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you for your association in the group, Prabhuji. Today we are reading Sri Caitanya Caritamrta, Madhya Lila, 25, chapter, verse 41 to 56. Darshan, sixth system of philosophy, Prabhu. Please take over the call, Prabhu.
Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesha Putreshu Nityam Bhagavati Devacham Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishchiki Mukyat Brandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Caitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamainam Dadati Sma Padaptikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamaram Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathatam Sadivam Advaitam Savadhutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sattakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabharasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaurava Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Lord Purnima is approaching. We are discussing Caitanya Caritamrta, very interesting chapter. Mahaprabhu, it Caitanya last time, Caitanya Mahaprabhu's last time, Mahaprabhu's story. So we have Caitanya Caritamrta, teaching Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, your voice is breaking.
Sri Caitanya Caritamrta. We have Caitanya Mahaprabhu speaking the Vedic literatures, the entire summary of the Vedic literatures through 5 great people. So it is known as 5 great discussions. If you see teachings of Lord Caitanya, which Srila Prabhupada wrote as a summary study of Sri Caitanya Caritamrta. So this summary study of Caitanya Caritamrta, it contains 5 discussions, 5 great. The first one is with Rupa Goswami, then Sanatana Goswami, Ramananda Rai, and Sarmadachari, ultimately Prakashananda Saraswati. So Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu gave the entire Vedic literatures, which contains 3 subject matters: Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Bhagavan Sambandha, Bhakti, Abhideya, Prayojana. Veda Tiraka hai. In all the Vedic literatures, there are 3 subject matters which are spoken: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. We all know these 3 words. Sambandha means the relationship with Krishna.
Looks like he's dropped off.
Yeah, I'll try to connect him.
Yes, Lalitandi Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, Madhya.
Going.
Everybody here?
Yes.
Is everybody able to hear? Yeah, okay.
Okay. So we have teachings of Lord Caitanya given by Srila Prabhupada. And in that, he actually summarizes the entire Caitanya Caritamrta in the sense that Caitanya Mahaprabhu gave knowledge to the entire world through these 5 great discussions. One with Rupa Goswami, other with Sanatana Goswami, Ramanand Rai, Prakashananda Saraswati, and Saramkacharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed the entire Sambandha Jnana through the discussions which he had with Sanatana Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed the entire knowledge of Abhideya process through Rupa Goswami's conversations. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed the entire process, or not process, the goal of life, the nature of the goal of life, love of God, through the discussions with Ramanand Rai. Now, 3 subject matters are over with these 3 discussions. What about the other 2 discussions? When somebody says, how is it that we are serving? There are so many conclusions about, so-called conclusions about Sambandha. Somebody says, we are Krishna. Somebody says, we are Atom. So many different understandings are there. So all the misunderstandings about the Sambandha Jnana are refuted in the discussion which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had with Sarvabhaumacharya. Now when it comes to Abhideya, the process, somebody may say, why only hearing and chanting is a process? Why not Jnana? Why not Yoga? Why not so many other processes are there, which are even mentioned in the Vedas? So then we have to refute and establish that pure devotional service, bhakti is the process. So the process of refuting, the process of contemplation on the Abhideya Vichar is revealed through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's discussions with Prakashananda Saraswati. There is a subject matter which is going on at present, that is discussions with Prakashananda Saraswati, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, before we actually go into the subject matter, it is always the tradition when we read the Caitanya Caritamrta that we recite the first 14 verses of the Caitanya Caritamrta. Lila, chapter 1, text number 1 to 14, because these 14 verses are the Mangalacharan of the entire Caitanya Caritamrta. So when we do the Caitanya Caritamrta, we are supposed to do the Mangalacharan of Caitanya Caritamrta. So first I'll recite these verses, and then we'll go to today's subject matter, which is there in the Madhya 25th chapter, 41st verse onwards. Vande Gurunni Shavatkani Shamishavataratan Tatprakatan Tatshakti Krishna Chaitanya Sanjatam Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sodito Kodode Pushpavanto Chitro Sando Tamonudo Yadadvaitam Brahma Panishadi Tadatyasitanubha Yantarya Purushaha Isyantapantarya Purushaha Isosyam Shvaibhavaha Shadaishwarya Purno Yahya Bhagavan Tatsvayam Mayam Nasidanya Krishna Jagati Paratattvam Parammiha Anarpitacharim Chirat Karanya Tiranakkalo Samarpaitum Natujradasam Savakti Shriyam Haripurata Sundara Sitikadam Vasande Pitaha Sadarade Kandare Suradvasasyanandanaha Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikradalani Shaktirasma Ekasmanavati Valpuradeha Vedam Gatoto Chaitanyakyam Prakamaduna Tatvayam Shekyamastam Radha Bhavati Visuvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrisho Vaneva Swadhyo Inadbhuta Madhurima Kidrisho Vamadhiyaha Saukyam Chasya Matlabhataha Kidrisham Veti Lobhat Sadbhavakya Samadhi Sankarshanakaranotavishai, Garbhodashai, Chapayodhishai, Eshashchesham Sakarata Nityanandakramam Charanam Mamastu, Mayadite Vyavivaikunta Loke, Purneshware Shri Chaturvyuha Madhye, Rupam Yasyodvat Sankarshanakyam, Tam Shri Nityanandaramam Prapadhye, Maya Janda Sangakshayangaha, Eti Sakshat Karanam Bodhimadhye, Keganchak Shri Kumaradi Devas Tam Shri Nityanandaramam Prapadhye, Yasyam Sham Sham Shri Garbhodashai Yennatyam Lokasangatanalam Lokasashta Sutigadam Radus Tam Shri Nityanandaramam Prapadhye, Yasyam Sham Sham Shah Paramatma Ginanam Pushkavishtabhadi Duddhabhishai Shovni Bharta Yakarasyoktyanantakam Shri Nityanandaramam Prapadhye, Vishtarjagatkarta Mayaya Hasujatiraha Satyavadari Vayam Advaitachari Ishvaraha Advaitam Harinadvaita Dacharyam Bhaktisamshana Satyavadaram Ekhantam Advaitachari Mashre Antatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupastarupakam Satyavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam. So, we have the discussions between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prakashananda Saraswati. Practically just got over, which is described in the Adi Lila in a very elaborate way. So we'll not go into the entire discussion which is there in Adi Lila because now the summary is coming up. After the discussions went on, what happened was the news spread everywhere about the discussions. The entire Banaras, there are thousands of Mayavadi Sannyasis. They were discussing the conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prakashananda Saraswati, which happened in the Maharashtra Brahmin's house where he invited there. Now, the conversion of Prakashananda Saraswati, it is a very unique conversion which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not argue much with Prakashananda Saraswati. But with Charmadacharya, there was a lot of argument which went on. Because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the place where he was invited, Maharashtra Brahmin invited all the sannyasis also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat at the place where they are washing the feet. Then when you go into the house, you wash the feet. That's not considered a very clean place. So Prakashananda Saraswati saw sannyasi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Kanti, the effulgence coming from the body of Chaitanya was so wonderful that he was so captivated just by the beauty of it. Now we know that the famous verse in Bhagavatam says that how in the Kali Yuga Krishna comes to Chaitanya. Krishna Varnam Disha Krishnam Ango Upanga Astra Parshadam Ta Anga Upanga Astra Parshadam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came with Astra. What is that Astra? The first Astra is his beauty. Krishna is Sandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. It is Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. So the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the effulgence of Chaitanya was so wonderful, which is actually the effulgence of Srimati Radharani, love for Krishna, Krishna Prema, which is manifesting in the body of Chaitanya, was so wonderful. The Prakashananda Saraswati got conquered by it. Already defeated, no argument required. And then Prakashananda Saraswati comes forward and then he extends his hand to Chaitanya. Oh, why are you sitting here? Please come, this is not proper place. Come sit along with us. So he did favor. So Prakashananda Saraswati, though he was a Mayavadi sannyasi, with 6,000 Mayavadi disciples, sannyasi disciples, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu created Sukriti in his heart just by making him, attracting him and making him do some seva. That is why not much argument was there. So now after the entire argument got over here, what happened? One of the disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati, he began to speak in the assembly.
he started saying, Prakasham Vashishya Ekva Sahara Samana. And his disciple was not just one more disciple, Sahara Samana. He was actually as good as Prakasham Vashishya. Sabhara Madhya Kahe Prabhu Kariya Samana. So he offered respect to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he started glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is the current context which is going on. He went on glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying that these Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, which are actually very clear, and I have been hearing about the teachings of Srila Shankaracharya, my spiritual master, but whenever I heard, it was not very clear. The interpretations were not very clear. Because Srila Shankaracharya accepted the indirect descriptions of the Lord, indirect meaning of the verses. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he explains, everything is so clear. And we have been discussing about Brahman, but actually the real meaning of Brahman, Brahma Shabda, Mukhya Artha Kohe Bhagavan. The real meaning of Brahman is Bhagavan. If you just take Brahman as the impersonal aspect, it is only just reducing the glory of the Brahman. So in this way, he goes on quoting different verses from Srimad Bhagavatam and from Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads to establish that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's conclusions are perfect. Now I was asked to speak from the 41st verse. He says, Vedanta Sutra, Sutrera Parinamavada Pahanamanya. Now we should know what is the meaning of the word Parinamavada. Vada means the philosophy. Here, Parinamavada refers to the philosophy which talks about how this world has manifested, the connection between the Supreme Lord and this world. So there are many philosophies regarding this. There is something called Brahma Parinamavada, and there is something called Vivartavada, there is something called Parichedavada, there is something called Pratibindavada, and there is something called Drishti-Shruti-Vada. So many different vadas are there. So our philosophy regarding how this world is manifest, and everybody should remember this. Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we should remember this one phrase, Shakti Parinamavada. So all the sutras, Vedanta sutras are clearly talking about that this world is the manifestation or the transformation of Krishna's energy. So from Krishna, there are many energies which are emanating. They emanate and expand and transform. Emanation, expansion and transformation of Krishna's energy, this world is made. So he says, Sutra Parinamavada Sahanamanya. These Mayavadis, they don't accept that energy, the Lord has energy. If you want to summarize the entire Mayavad philosophy in one line, just say that those who don't accept Krishna has energy, the Lord has energy, is a Mayavad. And what has happened instead of that, they accepted Vivartavada. Of course, Shankaracharya Vivartavada. Later on, his disciples and his grand disciples, they to cover one lie, you tell 100 lies. So there are more than 100 varieties of Mayavad, not just one variety. Of course, Srila Shankaracharya, he stressed on this Vivartavada philosophy. Vivartavada, of course, we don't want to discuss much about it. But Vivartavada was one of the vadas which Sri Madhvacharya had completely destroyed. Srila Shankaracharya said, Karma Satyam Jagat Mithya. He said this world is Mithya. It is only illusion. It is Mithya. How? He says, like a rope and snake example, Srila Shankara gives. When you're walking on the road, you're afraid of seeing a snake. But actually, it's not a snake, it's rope. So, snake is not there, but you are afraid of the snake which is not there. In the same way, you are afraid of this world which is not there. You see, as much as there is no snake, still you are afraid of it. And fear is one of the emotions. So we are all having these emotions out of the ignorance which makes us think that this world is real. The moment you think this world is not there, it is unreal, then your ignorance is gone. So then you actually think, you know you're Brahman, you're God. So Vivartavada is that. Vivarta means the theory of illusion. Parinam means the theory of transformation. And Paricheda means the theory of cleavage or fragmentation, the theory of fragmentation. Pratibimbavad means the theory of reflection. Of course, when we study the Bhagavad Gita, these words are found. Even if you accept the theory of reflection, Srila Prabhupada talks in the second chapter, the soul is not cleavable. Even if you add the theory of fragmentation, use the word, Parichedavad. Now here, Sripad Shankaracharya, Vivartavad has been described. And Sripad Shankaracharya takes the same example of what Sripad Shankaracharya uses and says, yes, when you are walking on the road, you find a rope and you think to be a snake. That is why you are having all horrible experiences. Actually, it is not a snake, it is rope. But here, Madhvacharya raises the point. When the person is walking the road, he saw the rope. And he thought it to be a snake. Why he thought it to be a snake? Because there is a snake, real snake somewhere else. For illusion to occur, there should be a real illusioner. Illusion is true, it is false. But for the illusion to be created, there should be somewhere a real thing which actually caused the illusion. That person who saw the rope and thought to be a snake, because he had an experience of a real snake somewhere else in some other time. So in this world, we have two kinds of Brahma. One is Ananda Brahma and Vaikuntha Brahma. Two kinds of illusions. One is we think the world is permanent. My house is permanent, my wife is permanent, my husband is permanent, I can live with them. We don't know, tomorrow we wake up, we find actually we are not there. Somebody is not there. Who knows? This is called Vaikuntha Brahma. Another is we think that, I have some happiness in this. Why are we thinking like this? Why we have these two illusions that there is happiness and there is eternal nature? Eternity and happiness, we are searching out in this world because we have an experience of real happiness and real eternity. So for the illusion to occur, there should be illusioner, it should be real. So that's why Sripad says there is a real snake that is spiritual world. Right? There is a real happiness and real eternity somewhere else which you have experienced it. And now comes the rope itself is real. So the snake is not real, but the rope is real. So here there are two realities. One is the rope, other is the snake elsewhere, not here. The illusion is not in the rope. Why you have to call it illusion? The illusion is in the mind of the person who is looking at the rope. Illusion is in the conscious of the person. This is how Sripad Madhvacharya refutes this Vivartavad philosophy. I need to cover so many verses, so I'll just go further. Now, the disciple of Darshan, so he goes on further saying, Yeta kalpita artha ane nahi bhajya shastra chadi kalpana ashande bhujaya. He says, his interpretation and imaginary meaning, it does not actually appeal to the mind of the sane man. Let's see, what powerful statement. He has been studying Shankara Bhashya for years and years. And now, just by the association of Sri Caitanya, just by hearing one conversation, what he says, it actually appeals to it does not actually appeal to the mind of a sane man. That means one who accepts this philosophy of Mayavad, they're actually insane. Shastrachari, Kukalpana, Ashanda Bhujaya. This he has done only to convince the atheists. Ashanda Bhujaya. Ashanda means those atheistic people. Now comes the subject called the history of philosophy. So there are two subject matters. One is the history of our philosophy and the philosophy of our history. So philosophy of our history is another deep subject. Now the present subject is the history of our philosophy. So what is the history of our philosophy? We know Buddha, he appeared because many Brahmins at the time before Buddha's appearance, after the Kali Yuga started, Jiva and Manasa, just for the sake of tongue, they were doing animal sacrifices left, right, center, without considering the purpose of sacrifice. Then Krishna has to come as Buddha and then say, oh, Nindati Yajna Vijayraha Sriradam. So he told, no, don't do any sacrifice. Just follow me. Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. When people ask him, what about God? Then if you say, don't accept sacrifice, don't accept Veda, Buddha rejected the Veda. But how can he say there is no God? When people ask him, what about God? He just kept quiet. Because when he says God, then he has to bring the Veda back again. So, Buddha's silence was translated as atheism. No God. So many books were written on atheism. Buddhism was so prevalent. Now, how long? Without Vedic authority, how people can come back to Godhead? So Krishna was saying, Sripad Shankaracharya, to delude the atheistic people, the Buddhists, Buddhism is atheism, non-Vedic atheism. So what happened? Sripad Shankaracharya, he went around boundaries of India 3 times and defeated the Buddhists and the Buddhists out of the country. That is why you find even till today, Buddhists are all there on the borders of the Bhutan, in Sri Lanka, China, in all these places. They are driven away by Sripad Shankaracharya. So the purpose of Shankara's appearance is to delude the Buddhists, delude the atheistic people, and bring back a Vedic authority. So here, Sripad Shankaracharya's philosophy, why is that he spoke atheistic philosophy, though he is Lord Shiva, Vaishnavana, Darshan, no, it is because of the order of Krishna. So he's talking about that. Then he says, Paramartha Vichara Gela Pare Bhaktravada Mukti Pabe Kaha Krishnera Prakada. So these people, those who are Mayavadi philosophers, they don't even care for liberation or mercy of Krishna. So what they do, they just go on arguing and giving counter-argument. There's no point in just even talking to you and discussing about it. Because Jata Putrera Artha Acharya Pariyate Achadan. What did Shankara do? Achadan. He completely covered the real meaning of the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasa. Ye hoy Satya Sri Krishna Caitanya Lochan. He said, actually the vata or the what is spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Satya is truth. Chaitanya Gosai kahe sei matasa. And he said, whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said is actually the essence of all the philosophy. Aryata mata sei saba dara kara. Whatever other philosophies are there, there's only destruction. Yes, he say Kara, Krishna, Sankirtan. Then what he did? After speaking this, he started doing Sankirtan. Because the purpose of Darshan Saraswati Samvad, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is to establish Abhideya Vichara. The process is what? Sankirtan. So after deliberation on what is the process, ultimately the real process, Harinam Sankirtan, chanting the names of Krishna, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam spiritual master is established here. So, Esasahi, Sei Kare, Krishna Sankirtan. So, Prakashanantara is his disciple. He started doing the Kirtan. Then, Sri Prakasham, the Kichu Kahen Vachan. From now onwards, Prakashanantara starts speaking. Now, let us see what Prakashanantara spoke and analyze some verses of it. Acharya Agraha Advaitavada Stapite Tape Sutrartha Vyachakare Anyarite. Prakashanantara is told, Sripad Shankaracharya was very eager to establish the philosophy of monism. Therefore, he explained Vedanta Sutras. Vedanta philosophy in a different way to support monistic philosophy. Now, Sripad Shankaracharya, biggest flaw, even in any debate, in any argument, in any commentary is this. Because Prakash also is a very learned personality. He says that Sripad Shankaracharya had ulterior motives while he translated or he gave commentary to the Vedanta Sutras. He wanted to establish Advaitavada. Advaitavada Sapika. To establish his own philosophy, what he did, he interpreted the scriptures. He did not conclude the philosophy of Advaitavada. Already in the beginning itself, in the Caritamrta Bhashya, he says, I am going to establish Advaitavada, Jiveshwaravada, living entity is Brahman. This world is Mithya. So he had an agenda behind giving his commentary. So that is why the commentary given by Sripad Shankaracharya on Vedanta Sutras is not a commentary at all. He is using Vedanta Sutras to establish his point, rather than explaining the Vedanta Sutras and establishing what Vedanta Sutras are talking. Now this point is also discussed in Caitanya. There also the same point is discussed. That is, how Sripad Shankaracharya, instead of actually giving conclusion to the Vedanta Sutras, he actually had his own agenda and then used the Vedanta Sutras to set up his agenda. Now, Bhagavata, Manila, Advaita, Naya, Sapana, Ateva, Savashastra, Saraya, Kandana. So, if one acts as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the philosophy that maintains that God and living entities are one cannot be established. So, what is Sripad Shankaracharya do? If you accept Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead, then Jiveshwaravada. Jiveshwaravada means the Jiva and Ishvara, same, one and the same, cannot be established. So, he had to go to such an extent that he had to refute all the scriptures and establish wrong philosophy, wrong conclusion. Yei grantakarta chaye swamata sapite taprera sahajarta nahi taha paite. Anybody who wants to explain his own opinion by using scriptures cannot do it by using the Shastreva Sahaja Artha. There are three kinds of meaning. Mukhya Vritti, Gauna Vritti, and Lakshana Vritti, or Vritti. Now, if you have some sentence or some word, you can take the direct meaning. Other is the indirect meaning. Other is the intended, or the Lakshana Vritti. So these three things are very deep subject matters in philosophy and literature also. I will not go deep into it because the heading says the six systems of philosophy. I don't know why I was chosen for this. I will come to the point. Now, Sripad Shankaracharya had to take the indirect explanation, not the direct explanation, because he had his own agenda. Now, after destroying the philosophy of Mayavad, then he speaks about the six systems of philosophy. Now, if you see, in the first chapter, this purport, Darshan, Srila Prabhupada says, one can sit in the Vyasasana only after studying the six systems, after being converted with the six systems of philosophy. By which he can, the Bhagavatam can be explained in defense with the other six systems of philosophy. There, we know, Sutta Goswami's glories are in this way. The speaker of Bhagavatam's glories are in this way. Maya Purāṇāni Itihāsāni Chānada Akṣāśyanidāni Dharmashastrāni Yādasa Yāni Vedritāni Srishto Bhagavan Bhavaraya Vinyecha Nismanaya Sūta Parāvaravido Viduhu. So in that verse, purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about it. Anyecha Muneha Sūta Parāvaravido. Anyecha Muneha. There are so many other munis who had given the philosophy before Vyasa appeared. So these philosophies are six in number. Nyaya, Vaisheshika. Then you have Sankhya, Purvamamsa, Yoga, Purvamamsa, and Uttarvamamsa Maya. So Maya, as you know, said, other 5 are like Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamamsa. Now, these 5 philosophies, so the 6th one is the Maya. These philosophies are atheistic. Now, Sripad Prakash Saraswati is actually talking about them. And then say, not only Sripad Shankaracharya is wrong, but here, the other philosophers, they are also wrong. Imam Sarapahe, Ishvara, Karmera, Anga. And who are these Mimamsakas? These Mimamsakas, the Purva Mimamsa, Mimamsaka means Caritamrta, Purva Mimamsa, and one who established this philosophy of Purva Mimamsa is Jaini. So Jaini, who is the author of this Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa, Caritamrta, for him, the goal of life is Swarga. Go to Swarga and enjoy. And then, what is the process? The process is just do sacrifices as mentioned today. Just go on doing sacrifices, to practice the Vedic literatures, and then do sacrifice, and then you should get punya. When you get punya, you can go and enjoy. Enjoyment is the goal of life for those Mimamsakas. So he is the most dangerous philosophers among all the other atheistic philosophers. These Mimamsakas, they are demigod worshippers, but very, very dangerous demigod worshippers. They don't even consider the demigods to be a person. They only consider the demigods to be the sound forms of sound forms, that's all, sound projections, that's all. When they chant the mantras for a particular demigod and Vedic mantra, then the demigod appears, and then they say, Karmera Anga. They say that if you do good, then God has to give you good. That means you can bring God under control by your performance of pious activities. So all the Vedic rituals you follow, it is only one purpose, is what? To bring God under your control. Like we hear this statement by our mothers, my mother used to tell. If you study nicely, God will give you good result. If you do good, God will give you good. So what is this will? That means you are binding God. Karamera, you are making God as a subservient to your activity. Of course, I don't want to go deep into this current philosophy. Actually, they are the first enemy of Vedanta. The word, the first aphorism of the Vedanta Sutras. So this is addressed to defeat the Karmimamsa philosophy. Because the question is, Dharma Jigyasa. Mimamsa, they ask the question, what is the question? Veda talks about Dharma. Why you require to inquire into Brahman? What is the necessity? You practice Dharma and be happy. Why you have to inquire? Why is God? Why you have to inquire about God? Because the God has given you Veda. What is there in the Veda? Forget about God. You don't have to inquire into God. Because God's instructions, practical instructions, are more important than the theory describing about God. So in the Vedas, you'll find Karmakanda and Jnanakanda. They say, what kind of practicality is there in the Jnanakanda? You go on describing God, inquire about God, inquire about God. It's only just theory. What is important is practical. We are doing practical. Then you hear a Bhagavatam class. Like this class you are hearing, it is all philosophy and discussion. And one person says, Prabhu, tell something practical. Do you think anything more practical can be there in sitting and hearing Chaitanya Charitamrta and Bhagavatam? There's nothing more practical than this. So because the contamination in our consciousness, what is contamination? Practical. I want something practical. That is called Karamimamsa. So they say the descriptions about God They are not very important. Practicality is important. And they even say, why you require even your own scriptures, that is Upanishads. Upanishads are saying, what they say, Ishavasya Upanishad says, Kurvaneve karmani jivisheshatam samaha. Kurvan, karmani jivisheshatam. Upanishad is saying, you should do your karma for 100 years. Balaji Vidyabhushan points out, my dear Karanam philosophers, you have forgotten one word, Kurvan. Iha karmani. It is not Kurvan, Iha karmani. Kurvan eva. Eva. See the previous word, eva means like this way. What is this way? How do you do karma? Knowing that Ishava, Shavitam, Vitarvam, Yatin, Tera. So knowing, you act. Without knowledge, act. That is going to be bondage. So just see how subtly the first part of the Vedanta Sutra, Vedanta Sutra, Atha Dharma Vidyata, Atha, since your Dharma Vidyata is only going to lead to temporary results. That is why you should inquire to the Absolute. The descriptions in the Vedic literature about the Absolute Truth, they are actually the source of our karma. They are inspiration for karma. If you see karma independent of jnana, knowledge, then what happens? You are going to be bound. It is bondage. And you think by this, the karma which binds you, you are thinking that karma can bind God? Of course, we can go on arguing and counter-arguing on this coming on philosophy, but I don't want to do much more because I need to cover 6 systems here. So now, Caritamrta, Ishvara hoy karma. Then now it is Sankhya pahe, Chakatera Prakriti Karanata Sambha. The Sankhya philosophers, who are they? Sankhya philosophy is established by Kapila. Kapila, there are 2 Kapilas. You know very well. The theistic Kapila and there is some theistic Kapila. Devayuti Kapila, theistic Kapila. Devayuti Kapila, our Kapila is in the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam. Somehow it so happens that both the Kapilas, their philosophy is Sankhya, both the Kapilas had a disciple called Asuri. Same name. So there is a 100% chance of getting confused. To such an extent, the confusion has gone so deep, even till today. Even the Vaishnava philosophers in Madhya, even in the Shiveshwar, they believe there is only one Kapila. Because the philosophy is the same. The name of the proponent is the same. And the disciple is also the same. So very, very difficult to distinguish until we know we need both of the philosophies and find that both are actually talking 2 different philosophies. One is a theistic Kapila. Ishvara clearly said, God is not required. God is not there. That is one philosophy, atheism. But just imagine this: God is not required. Whether he is there or not there, don't bother about it. He is not required. That is why Sankhya is the height of all atheism. The source of all atheism is Sankhya. Although we find Nyaya, Vaisheshika and all Buddhism and all, the mother of all atheism is Sankhya, is Kapila. Because they say there are only 2 things required, Prakriti and Purusha. 2 realities. Here Purusha is soul. The soul and world, that's all. So when they come together, there is a huge, nice, wonderful discussion on what is Prakriti, what is Purusha, what is soul. 4 chapters in Sankhya. And one of the greatest commentators on the Sankhya philosophy, Ishvara Krishna, Sankhya Karikavali, he gives a big commentary to it. So, 4 chapters deal with 4 subject matters. Number 1 is Prakriti, 1 is Purusha, 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter. When they come together, then the description of the sufferings of this world, and ultimately when liberation, when they separate. Who brings them together? Who separates them? There is no requirement. They say, like an old man, a blind man and a lame man. Both of them come together. But both of them come together because both are conscious. Prakriti and Purusha, one is conscious, one is not. They give another example to say they come together like magnet and iron. But here, in your example, magnet and iron both are unconscious. Whereas Prakriti and Purusha, one is conscious, one is unconscious. Now they say, now the redness and the beetle. When you chew the beetle, your mouth becomes red. So automatically this happens. So this word automatic, by chance, automatic, this theory, conscious theory. Actually, Srila Prabhupada was a walking encyclopedia of all the six systems of philosophy. That is why he was not only not just answering perfectly, just because he was Krishna conscious, he knew the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. He knew the six systems of philosophy so thoroughly that he knew very well when somebody spoke something, which system of philosophy is speaking, which ignorance is speaking, because six systems of philosophy are nothing but ignorance. So when somebody asks a question, he's asking a question or a doubt based on ignorance. If you don't know that ignorance, you cannot answer the question properly. The Srila Prabhupada, perfect questions, perfect answers. Because he knew perfectly well the other person's ignorance. Once he was talking in Russia to Katowski, Professor Katowski. Then Katowski was telling him, oh Swamiji, we believe everything is nature. And Prabhupada said, whose nature? Oh, defeated. One line was enough to defeat a big professor. Because when Katowski told that everything is nature, he's actually talking Sankhya philosophy. Then here Srila Prabhupada, he knew that what philosophy, what wrong philosophy, what ignorance is speaking, and he gave the exact answer. So it's very interesting to read all the conversations of Prabhupada which he had. The science of self-realization, life comes from life, and all different conversations, small books. Even till today I finish reading those books of small books, science of self-realization, life comes from life, perfect question, perfect answers. Because you can really find how Srila Prabhupada was so expert in not just knowing what is one philosophy, that is Swamata Stapana, and another one is Paramata Khandana. That is defeating, refuting, and talking philosophy. Because he knew very well what ignorance they are thinking about. So knowledge means to know what is truth and what is false, what is true, untruth. That is why Srila Prabhupada says, if you want to really present Bhagavatam very nicely, you should know the six systems of philosophy. Because in defiance with the six systems of philosophy, you can present Bhagavatam, and the Bhagavatam becomes like a sun, as brilliant as the sun, as bright as the sun in the minds of the people who are hearing. So, Samsya kahe, Jagata, Prakriti, Karana Prasanga. Says Prakriti, Jagatara, Prakriti, Karana Prasanga. So, how this world came into existence? It is because of nature. Everything is nature. So, you don't require any God. So like that, they give example. Another example which they give is about the scorpions coming from the rice. No, scorpions don't come from rice. Actually, there are mother scorpion who lay eggs in the rice, and the eggs are giving birth to the scorpion. So, life comes from life. So this whole world it just doesn't come automatically. There is a conscious person behind it. Anyhow, Nyaya kahe, Paramanu, Haite, Vishwa, Hai, Mayavadi, Nirvishesha Dhamme, Hetu Hai. So these two philosophers, Nyaya and Vaiteshikas, we just clubbed them together because both are similar philosophers, but there's a lot of difference in what they speak. Nyaya is established by Gautama and Vaisheshika by Kannada. Of course, there are different names too. Kannada, also known as Kanabhuja, who was actually eating atoms. One was known as Akshapada because he was meditating on his feet, not the feet of the Supreme Lord. That is the problem. When you look at your own feet, then you land up into this so-called modern science. The modern science derives their whole philosophy or their what do you say, the sutras from Nyaya sutras. Paraman Vaite Vishwahai. So they say atoms are the source of everything. Actually, what these 6 sages spoke about is answer to one question. What is that one question? Where everything comes from? Janmatya Shad. So to find out the answer for this question, from where everything comes from, they have opened expressions. Interestingly, for all the 6 systems of philosophy, these philosophers, the book or the books from which they derive their philosophy are Upanishads. They searched out this one question, where everything comes from these 6 systems of Upanishads, and came to different conclusions, 6 conclusions. One said atoms, Nyaya, are the source of everything. Others told the combinations of atoms of everything are the source of everything, and Vaisheshika. And the other one, third one, Prakriti, material nature is the source of everything, that is their conclusion, that is Sankhya. And then Yoga, Patanjali, he told universal consciousness. Universal consciousness is not the Paramatma, the real Paramatma. It is assumed Paramatma. Like in a mathematical equation, we assume x equal to something. It's an assumption. There is no x in the beginning and there is the x at the end. It's only in the middle. So this assumed Paramatma, universal consciousness, that is the source of everything. And karma is the source of everything. That is Caritamrta, established in Germany. Yoga is established in Patanjali, we know very well. And Kapila established the system of philosophy called Sankhya. And in the Purvamamsa by Germany, the karma is the source of everything. And ultimately you have the Uttarvimamsa, the Vyasa Sutras, Vedanta Sutras, the Mayavadi interpretation, that is the 6th ignorance. So, Nyaya Kahe, Paramanu Haite, Vishwahai, Mayavadi, Nirvishesha Brahma. Okay. This Mayavadi says Nirvishesha Brahma is everything. Patanjali Kahe, Ishvara Hai, Surupam Jnana. So, this Patanjali is saying, this Ishvara is actually Surupam Jnana. First, Surupam Jnana here means universal consciousness, which is a proxy Paramatma, not the real Paramatma. Vedamate Chayara Swayam Bhagavan. But Vedas clearly say that Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan, is the source of everything. Janmatya Shad. Now, Chayara Vata Vyasa Kaila Avartana Te Saba Sutralana Vedanta Varnana. So what did Vyasa do? He took all the 6 systems of philosophy, studied them, and he refuted them, summarized them in the Vedanta philosophy. Now, what is Vedanta Sutras? Why Vyasa had to write the Vedanta Sutras? There are 2 purposes of writing Vedanta Sutras. One is Paramata Khandana. He had to destroy the 6 systems of philosophy. Samata Sthapana, he has established Krishna philosophy of Krishna consciousness. And that is the reason Vedanta Sutras are written. So if you study the Vedanta Sutras, then you not only come to know what 6 systems of philosophy you have, you also come to know how to refute them. And ultimately you come to know what is your philosophy. Of course, Vedanta Sutras are given a natural commentary. Natural commentary on Vedanta Sutras is Srimad Bhagavatam. So when you study the Srimad Bhagavatam, then naturally the 6 systems of philosophies are spontaneously refuted and Krishna conscious philosophy is established. This is the thing, and ultimately Vedanta Mate Dhamma Sakara Nirupana Nirguna Vedirikte Tina Ayeta Saguna. So I Vedanta Sutras, Vedanta philosophy, absolute truth is the person. And the word Nirguna, somebody may say, oh, in the Vedanta Sutras, the word Nirguna is used, in Upanishad Nirguna is used, no quality. The purpose of using the word Nirguna is to show that the Lord has no material qualities. The Lord has spiritual qualities. Paramakarana Ishvara Pahe Nahi Mane Swaswa Mate Stapane Para Mate Rathandane. So those philosophers who actually don't accept the Supreme Lord, Krishna, what they do, just for the sake of Samata Stapane, establishing their own philosophy, and to destroy the philosophy, they go on wrangling none of the six systems of philosophy. Darshan, that is why they don't know what is truth. Mahajana ekahe ite satyamani. So how can we know the truth? And Prakash says, there is no other way other than accepting the path of the Mahajanas. Mahajana Vadatsukanta. So he concludes this. In one sense, he concludes this. First is Lochan, Prakash Saraswati, saying that if you just read the six systems of philosophy, you will not conclude anything. If you really want to know the conclusion, you just have to follow what Mahajanas have told. Ei Satyamani. Please start your any questions, please to us.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming on the call and speaking on this topic. I have a few questions. Can you throw more light on this concept of assumed Paramatma as you were talking about the yoga philosophy? And a follow-up question for that is, we also say Patanjali was an expansion or an amsha of Sesha, who's a devotee, and he does have some devotional aspects in his philosophy. So can you first explain what is assumed Paramatma and then also address the second half of the question, Prabhu? Thank you so much.
Yeah. What happened is when Kapila wrote the Sankhya Sutra, and which is atheistic, and people saying atheist. The Patanjali told, no, I accept God. So then he wrote, accepting Paramatma. And when people read the Kapila's philosophy, they told there's nothing practical. So Patanjali told, I'll give something practical. So based on the philosophy of atheism of Kapila, Patanjali, he added some kind of imaginary God in it, and he added some practicality to it, by Ashtanga Yoga and all this. Now people start worshipping Patanjali, thinking that he seized it. So Vyasa, he wrote a commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutras because he claims to be theistic. And Vyasa, while commenting on the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, he proved that Patanjali is a theist. So it is Vyasa's commentary. It is Vyasa's commentary on the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. It is still available. The book is available in English. So in that commentary, Vyasa clearly refutes the philosophy of Patanjali, and not only that, he establishes, though he calls himself he is actually a theist. Now, he's a sensation. That is what people say. Even Gautama, he thinks the ordinary personality into whose house Lord Ramachandra came. No, he's not. All the philosophers, Shankaracharya, he's not Sakshat Shiva, Shankara is Sakshat. So Krishna, he manifested these six systems of philosophy, which are his energy, Krishna's energy. These are all Krishna's energy, atheistic energies of Krishna. So they are manifest through great sages. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna manifested through Arjuna, making Arjuna go into illusion. Actually, Gautama is not ordinary soul. Kanala is not ordinary soul. They are great sages. But it is the will of Krishna that he manifests. Now, Patanjali as the Amsha of Ananta is not accepted by any of the Vaishnavas. So we don't want to really go into details of why they accept him as Ananta. If we are accepting him as Ananta, then Ananta himself has spoken as Ramanuja. Why don't you accept exactly after Ramanuja has completely refuted his Patanjali, like he made him like cry in his Sri Bhashya. Because Ramanuja, for him to establish Sharanagati, he had to give up this, refute the yoga process, which is so much of endeavor from your own side, controlship of your senses by from your own endeavor. All these things are refuted to Ramanuja. And that is why we don't have to really bother about who is Patanjali. And Vyasa is clearly told, many points in Patanjali is told are non-Vedic. Nowhere in the Upanishads are found about the 5 kinds of ignorance he talks about, and 5 kinds of vrittis he talks about. They are not found. And sometimes you devotees, we read Yoga Sutras and try to incorporate in art of mind control and all. No, we just not do all these things. Because Vyasa has told Patanjali to be a teacher. Of course, there are certain statements in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras which he accepts God. Like Prabhupada says, even Shankaracharya accepted Narayana Parojyastat Narayana is God. It just takes one point. That doesn't mean Prabhupada is actually certifying Shankaracharya's philosophy is Vaishnava philosophy. So even in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, he quotes to the sutras of Patanjali to say, even Patanjali accepted Vishnu as God. But that doesn't mean Patanjali's philosophy is Vaishnava. No.
Yes, Prabhu. So this assumed consciousness or assumed Paramatma is not the real Paramatma that yogis see. Is that how you understand it, or?
Yeah, because Patanjali doesn't accept Paramatma, Upadrashta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta. The Bharta, Bhokta part is totally missing. He only takes Paramatma and Upadrashta. That's all. Over here. The other aspect of Paramatma being a conscious reciprocator to the conditioned soul and the soul who is actually on the process of self-realization, that is not there.
Then only a devotee actually realizes Paramatma as he is.
Yeah, it's only devotee. Okay. It is only devotee. That is why when Krishna, when he speaks yoga in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is Yoga Vishnu Bhakti. It is theistic yoga. When Patanjali speaks yoga, it is atheistic yoga. When Krishna speaks Sankhya in the 2nd chapter, it is theistic Sankhya. When the Kapila is speaking Sankhya, the atheistic Kapila, it is atheistic Sankhya. When Krishna speaks karma in the 3rd and the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, it is theistic karma. When Jainini speaks karma, it is atheistic karma. Of course, this is where Prabhupada talks in the purpose so clearly about these things. I know many other scholars, Vaishnava scholars, they just cannot differentiate between the Sankhya of Krishna and Sankhya of atheistic Kapila. They think both are same. As Srila Prabhupada talks about it, people think that these two Sankhya's are same, but they are not. People think Krishna's yoga and Patanjali's yoga are same. Even Vaishnava scholars think so, but it is not. Krishna, what he spoke is Yoga Mishra Bhakti. What Patanjali spoke is only just yoga, which is nothing to do with Bhakti.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. So, Prabhu, the second question was of course, you differentiated between Nyaya and Vaisheshika. You said Nyaya is atoms is the source of everything, and Vaisheshika is combination of atoms. So, besides that, how does it actually manifest as a different group? How do they elaborate, or how do they?
Okay, I'll just tell only those things which can be really understood in the minute also.
Okay.
In Nyaya, the process of analysis There's Prameya and Pramana. The Pramanas are analyzed very nicely in Nyaya. Whereas the Prameya, the object of knowledge, they are analyzed very nicely in Vaisheshika. But the problem in both of them is the same, because they accept only earth, water, fire, air. They don't accept the ethereal elements, ether as an element, which the modern science also. When it comes to ether, they have no idea. They say earth, water, fire, air. Okay, what about ether? Ether is not accepted an element in the modern science. So all these people come from there. Nyaya Vaisheshika, Sankhya Yoga, and Purvamamsa, Mimamsa, they are two sets of three. So Nyaya and Vaisheshika, they are like brothers. Like I spoke about Sankhya and Yoga, they are like brothers. What was deficient in Sankhya was Patanjali tried to fulfill in Yoga by giving some guard, giving some practicality, but the basis was Sankhya. In the same way, what was there in deficiency in Nyaya, Vaisheshika tried to fulfill it by elaborating on the Prameya. The Prameya means the object of knowledge, like the elements and other things. So and some practicality he added into it. Vaisheshika, Kannada, he added some practicality into it. In this way, both are similar. Because if you just say atom, then how is it that there are atoms in this world which are bonding? So the bondage of atoms, the combination of atoms, he brings a new concept of what do you call it? How do you say in modern science? The adhesive force, something like that.
There's a force, some sort of energy that binds.
Yeah, between two atoms which are one is iron, other is wood. How is it so? So he brings in that concept, because in Nyaya there is no description about why everything is atom. Few atoms are like wood, few atoms are like iron, few atoms are like water. Why is it so? Samavaya, the principle of Samavaya is described very elaborately in Vaisheshika. That's what I can tell at present.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much for bringing up the things. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Anyone else has any questions or any comments or any other further discussion that you would like to have on this topic?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for explaining it so beautifully. Maybe, my conditioning is such that I still missed it. So in this sixth philosophy, Prabhu, the one is the Mimamsaka philosophy. Then you talked about the Sankhya philosophy, which is propounded by Kapila, who is an atheistic Kapila. And then you went on for the Nyaya philosophy, like Gautama and Kannada. Then the Mayavadi philosophy. And then finally you went for the Patanjali, that is the Yoga. So what is the sixth one, Prabhu? These are all five.
Let me just count. Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamamsa, and Uttarvamamsa, Mayavada. 6. Nyaya.
Okay, so Mimamsa has 2.
By Gautama.
Okay.
Nyaya, Gautama, Vaisheshika, Kannada. Sankhya by Kapila, Yoga by Patanjali, Purvamamsa or Karamamsa by Jainini, Uttarvamamsa by Vyasa, and the commentary to Uttarvamamsa by Shankara is the 6th one.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your time and effort. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, koti koti dandavat pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Lochan Prabhuji, H.G. Lochan Prabhuji, can you please teach us one Vaishnava song?
Why?
Prabhuji? Yeah.
Each one Vaishnava. Now, sorry, time.
Anyone else have any questions or comments?
Let me stop here.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And thanks to all the devotees who joined. So if there are no other questions or comments, we can end the call. And also, if anyone wants to know more about this, I believe Prabhu has a seminar done on Vaishnava Institute of Higher Education on the Shad Darshan philosophy, so you can refer more on it. So with this, we'll end the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki jai, His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji ki jai.